Welcome to this weekly webinar, 6+ JMC training resources for new office users and teachers. My name is Jake. I am joined by a few different JMC folk. Linda Hill, Greg Appleby. Linda, Greg, you want to say hey?
Hi, this is Linda Hill.
There seemed like there should have been more to that than just, hey, this is Linda Hill. But Linda Hill is a client services specialist from the great state of Minnesota. Whereabouts are you located, Linda?
I'm located in the Brainerd Lakes area.
All right, nice. So if you're up in that neck of the woods, you might run into Linda. Greg, I don't know if I'm putting Greg on the spot here, but Greg, you want to say hi? Greg might not actually have audio today. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, Greg doesn't have audio. That's fine. But Greg is joining us from the great state of Nebraska. He was probably just joining in to listen, and I promoted him to a panelist because, you know, I always like hearing some Greg Appleby stuff, especially talking baseball. But today is all about your new folks. So as this new school year kicks off, it's exciting to welcome fresh faces to your front office and teaching team. Let JMC lighten your load with our fantastic array of training options. No matter the role or learning style, JMC will have your new staff shining like seasoned pros in no time. Let's take a look at 6 training resources readily available for your front office staff and teachers. So as you might be viewing this as a JMC vet, this might be great for you as well, but the primary focus here is how can you help onboard your new employees at the districts that you're at. And along with that, you know, you might see some resources in here that are available to you veteran users that, hey, yeah, this is perfect. This is exactly what I'm needing. So hopefully we can share an array of stuff for you along with some life hacks. I'm all about the life hacks today. But if you have any questions, please feel free to use that Q&A chat feature, and we will address those as we get to each of these sections here. So with that, let's take a look at resource number 1, the JMC Training YouTube channel. Need to thoroughly understand a process or module in JMC? Check out our YouTube channel with regularly updated instructional videos covering virtually every topic in JMC. Need help finding what you're looking for? Check out our playlists sorted by module and portal, or use the search feature to find the videos that meet your training needs. So let's take a live look at JMC training YouTube channel. So I just went to YouTube and I just typed in JMC INC to the search bar, and you'll see our avatar there, our friendly little blue avatar. A couple different pieces about this YouTube channel that you may or may not know. First things, we have all kinds of playlists here available for you. And the playlist that you might be the most interested in, or the playlist that you can share with your folks, would be our new user series. I'm going to view the full playlist just to show you all of the different pieces in that new user series. Everything from JMC 101 for somebody that's a brand new to your front office staff, all the way to some more intricate trainings like you know, your lunch and learn, getting ready for the end of term. You know, that might be coming up here in October, quicker than several of us may want to imagine. You know, managing healthy habits. So if you have a new nurse that's on staff, this would be a great training for them. All of these available on demand. So it's one of the first places that I send folks to, because, you know, waiting around to have a conversation with somebody, you know, it doesn't fit your schedule all the time. So it's great to have these resources at your fingertips. This is all sorted by module or by portal. So you've got all of our JMC office resources listed here. We can view all the JMC teacher resources, JMC family, JMC mobile. I'm sure, you know, front office staffs always get questions from family members. You know, how do I do this? How do I do this? Check out the JMC family collection here. And it's a great resource as well. The other thing that I would like to point out, I'd like to point out this to everybody, once you go into a JMC video, if you click that more button in the description, we have timestamps that'll take you to direct spots in the video. And we also have a link that's going to take you to our slides, the slides that we use within the presentation. So some folks are visual learners, some folks are auditory, some folks are both. So you have the ability to listen to the video, you have the ability to look into it to find the specific spot that you need. And then if you wanted to jump to certain parts directly, you can click on these timestamps and they're going to take you directly to the spot in the video. So any questions about our YouTube channel? Possibly an underutilized resource. We always update our weekly webinars into our YouTube channel as we complete them as well. So something to keep an eye on. Like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Any questions coming through? I'm not seeing any. So we'll keep moving right along. Resource number 2 is the in-app help widget. We call him John. Our in-app help widget allows users to search for the right answers the first time, exactly when and where they need them. It also provides users with direct access to technical support with a click of a button. It's available at all time, and as always, no extra cost. Let's take a live look quickly at our in-app help widget. The in-app help widget lives in the bottom right-hand corner of JMC Office. So your JMC teachers do not have this available to them. I'm going to show you how to bring them into the fold in just a little bit. But you click on our little widget in the bottom right-hand corner, and we've got a variety of tools that are built right into this widget. First off, we have folks that send us a message. This number right here is dynamic. You know, it changes based on the app. So we will get back to you in under 5 minutes. There might be some back and forth. And just to let you know, if you are a new user and there's a good chance that you get a message that says something like, hey, I see that you're a new user. This is the first time you've logged into JMC. We'd love to set up a training opportunity with you. And you'll get a link to set up a one-on-one training session from one of our trainers, or perhaps you'll get an email later from one of our trainers to set up a one-to-one training session, just because, you know, the nature of the question that you're asking might be multifaceted. You might have some follow-up questions, and it's just easier to handle outside of the widget itself. But for those quick questions, hey, where do I find this? Hey, why does this say this? You know, how do I do this? That message portion of the widget can be a very helpful tool. Also built within the widget, you've got the help center, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but you can actually click that visit the help center, and it's going to take you to our external help center. I'll come back to that in just a second. Or you can search for help directly in the widget. And the thing that I like about this, especially if you're a new user, add students. Let's just say I want to know how to add a student. Okay, well, enter a new student with a new student wizard. All right, I can click this. It's going to give me the instructions right here. I can read what the new student wizard is, what it does, and then I see the pathway. It says in JMC Office, I had to edit new student wizard. I can go to edit new student wizard, and my article is going to follow me through the steps. So I can navigate to different pages. My article is going to come with me, which is kind of nice. So nice little life hack. You've got the instructions right there. I can follow along with what I'm doing, and I can enter the information at the same time. So minimize, maximize, brings that article right back up. So nice handy way to use the widget. The other piece, so I'm going to go back to my home center for the widget. So I've searched for help. I've sent messages. I've visited the help center. A couple other pieces that are in here. We do throw some new things in here on occasion. So what's new in JMC? Keep an eye on that. Keep yourself up to date. And we might also send you some messages over what's coming up, additional webinars that might be available, summer conferences, all of that fun stuff available in the messages portion as well. And our help center, you can click that help and search any articles that you need to as well. So any questions about the in-app help widget? We call him John after our founder, John McElmurray, aka JMC.
I don't see any questions, Jake.
Wonderful. Thanks, Linda. Resource number 3, the Help Center. I told you I was coming back to it in a minute, and here I am. So our Help Center is a robust collection of over 800 how-to articles on common JMC tasks. Any user can visit anytime by clicking the Visit Help Center link right inside the in-app help widget, or since this lives outside of your in-app help widget, it's its own separate help center, you can send this URL to anybody that might need it. So you have family members, you have teachers, other staff members that might not have access to JMC Office, but might have some questions about how JMC works. Send them this link, and then they can search for the articles that they need. Our articles are categorized by module and by office or by user. So we've got some general information articles. We've got some articles that are geared more toward office staff. The vast majority of our articles are geared toward office staff. We have a few articles on point of sale and our new general store. We've got several articles for JMC teacher. A lot of times I hear, I've got a teacher that's brand new to JMC. They've never used JMC teacher at all. They might have, they might want to know how gradebook works. So we can go into our teacher collection. We can take a look at what's available. So logging in, everything, the highest level stuff, all the way down. Each of these modules live within JMC teacher. So you've got your file, edit, your scores, and now we can begin the process of, all right, well, what is this all about? What is scoring assignments? What are defining categories in JMC teacher? So I can click into this, I can get the article, and then I can send the article directly. So if you're a front office staff person and your teacher's asking some questions, you can either direct them to the help center, show them how to use the help center, or send them direct articles or links to articles within the help center. I know we spend a lot of time as a training staff keeping our resources up to date. They're written by our trainers, and we try to use language that folks understand and know. So we're not bots that are doing this. It's not AI generated. It's all done by people, possibly with the help of AI on occasion, but a great way to keep everybody in the know. So any questions about our help center?
I don't see any questions, Jake.
Wonderful. Resource number 4, your school's client service specialist. And I should let Linda talk a little bit about this herself. So I'm gonna put you on the spot, Linda, but our client services specialist team is comprised of principals, office folks, and superintendents who have a passion for helping users get the most out of our JMC software. Reach out to your CSS for tech support questions, to facilitate training opportunities, or for any help you need with JMC. You guessed it, there's no additional cost for reaching out to your CSS. So just to throw a few things in addition here, we have our CSS folks strategically located all over the region here. And you probably have somebody within driving distance of your school. And these folks are going to drop in throughout the year. You're going to see them in the fall. You're going to see them in the spring. They're going to call through during the winter months just to check in, see how things are going, see if anybody has any questions. They're looking for new users. So if we've got new users out there, you're brand new to JMC, you hook up with your client services specialist. If they can't answer the question to get you started, they can point you the direction of the folks that can, or to the resources that can help you out. So learning who your CSS person is a great gateway to learning JMC, especially if you're getting started. And speaking of client services, Linda, you're a client services specialist, right?
That is correct.
So what's your territory?
Well, I actually go to a lot of different places. I go to Ogilvy, Isle, Browerville, Cass Lake,
So whereabouts in Minnesota?
the northern part of Minnesota, probably northeast area.
All the way up to Duluth, or not quite that far?
Not quite, but I do go up there and try and get some business up there too.
I gotcha. Yeah. So our client services specialists located all the way throughout the Midwest, and they might be stopping in at non-JMC users. They might be stopping in to check out JMC users, help them out. If you're wondering who your client services specialist is, reach out to training@jmcinc.com and we can hook you up for sure. Otherwise, you can wait for them to show up to you sometime this fall. Probably, I don't know, I think August we start our site visits initiative. So you might see them as early as the first week in August. Any questions about client services specialists?
I don't see any questions.
Great. Resource number 5, one-to-one training sessions. The most efficient and effective way to train new staff is through a combination of viewing web resources and scheduling virtual Q&A sessions. I'm going to say that again. It is the most efficient and effective way to train new staff. A combination of viewing those web resources that I just showed you on YouTube, and then scheduling that follow-up Q&A session. A lot of times folks want a training staff member to come out to their district and show them how to do this thing. Well, that's great. And we can certainly do that, or we can set up a one-to-one virtual opportunity and show you how to do the certain thing. But then we go away and you're attempting to do the thing and you're like, wait, I have this question. Oh, what about this? You know, and obviously you can use the in-app help widget to help you out with that. You can use any of our resources, but where we see the most success is when, especially a new user watches a video to start and then gets to work within the program. You know, they start to work in JMC, they start doing this task, and you know what, this just isn't quite looking right. This isn't making sense to me. I have a question about this specific thing or this thing. That's, you know, a great time to schedule that meeting with a JMC trainer, and then keep work through that module, and then bring that question to that Q&A session. And a lot of times in a half an hour and a back and forth, we can knock out that question and any others that might come out. And usually what we do, especially for these one-to-one sessions, we use Google Meet. It's a virtual meeting platform. If you reach out to training@jmcinc.com and say, hey, I have a question about this. I'm a new user. I would like to meet with a JMC trainer. You're going to get a Calendly link. It's just a link that it talks to all of our calendars, and you can find the date and time that works best for you. And you're going to get one of our training team members. We're going to meet in a virtual environment. The virtual environment is really great because it allows us to share screens. So, you know, if I show up to your place, you know, and I'm standing in your school, I'm going to be standing over your shoulder, pointing at your computer screen. Whereas if I'm in a virtual environment, just like this one, I can, you know, go into JMC, I can log into your site. I can show you specific things, and you can show me specific things. You can actually go in and click into your site. You can share your screen, and all that fun stuff. If you are unsure of how Google Meet works, you know, it works through your calendar. I can pull up my calendar here and kind of show what you can expect. I can join with Google Meet. You got a brief peek behind the curtain. You can share your screen, this little present now button right there, where you can present your entire screen, click into your screen, and now I'm going to show an infinity mirror of madness. So, you know, just a nice handy way to use Google Meet as a way to interface with some of our trainers. But any questions about Google Meet or setting up one-to-one training opportunities?
No questions, Jake.
Again, reach out to JMC or training@jmcinc.com. If you learn best in person, we do offer two options. You can either come to us. JMC offers in-person training at our home site during our annual summer conference and at regional conferences that we hold throughout the year. So regional workshops usually happen in the spring. So you can keep an eye out for that. And if you're a new user, you're going to have to get yourself through a full school year before our spring, you know, usually around spring break-ish is when we try to have our regional workshops. Or you can come to our summer conference. Our summer conference this year was in June. It's probably going to be in June next year as well. So if you are planning for onboarding new staff, our summer conference is a great way to get your new staff together. It can be a great staff bonding time and to you know, learn all there is to know about JMC. Or we may be able to come to you. Schools can request private on-campus training sessions with one of our dedicated JMC client services specialists located throughout the Midwest. Again, we lean on our CSS for this. It's hard to be everywhere all at once, especially when folks all want training in August and September. So the most efficient way to do this is through our Google Meet virtual options. We can arrange in-person visits, but you know, the sooner you get on those, the better. And if it works out in our schedules for our travel, we definitely try to make that happen. So if there aren't any questions, we'll move on to resource number 6, the weekly webinars. And much like the webinar you are viewing right now, as the school year progresses, you can stay up to date with the latest and greatest innovations and training opportunities with our weekly webinars. Our interactive webinars are free weekly webinars, sometimes more than one a week, that include demonstrations of new features, overviews of little known features, and training sessions to help new users get up to speed with our software. It's also a great time to interact and ask any questions that you might have. And it's a great shared learning opportunity. One of the things that we've been doing here recently, especially with some of our Minnesota State reporting stuff, have been work sessions. And we did this for online registration, back to school online registration as well. We had a work session where folks were able to come in and chat back and forth, share their experiences, and it was great. We got to learn from a lot of you as well, and I think a lot of the folks that were a part of that webinar learned from each other, which was awesome. So let's take a live look at where you can find the weekly webinar schedule. So a few life hacks coming up. I'm going to go to our JMC home screen, and you see right there in the middle, our training opportunities are listed. I can do a little click count me in here, and this is how I can get registered for those upcoming webinars. But many of you already know that since you're right here. I am going to show you an alternative way though, which some of you may or may not know about. Going to pop into a recent webinar here. This was just 11 days ago. I'm going to pop into my description. I need to find one with a description.
Welcome to today's.
So I click into the description. If I go to my PDF here, if I scroll all the way down to the very last slide, for every webinar that we do, the very last slide, and we always email these PDFs out to everybody. One of the last slides is JMC news and upcoming events. This is where we share our upcoming webinar schedule. Each of these links in here is clickable. So you can click into this and it's going to take you to the registration. Now, this was an older webinar, which is why I'm getting the 404 message, because our registration is expired. This was, back in March, but when I email a copy of this PDF out to you, or if you have a recent webinar that you're looking at on our YouTube channel, you can always scroll down to this webinar schedule, click those links, and that will take you to the registration page. Any questions about our weekly webinar schedule? Mainly what we've got coming up, and I think that's going to be a beautiful segue into what we have coming up for the remainder of July. A lot of new user stuff. August is our state reporting month. We're getting folks prepped for state reporting. And then September, October are going to be focused on some basic fundamentals of JMC, as I would call it. So any questions about weekly webinars?
I don't see any questions.
All right. If not, let's take a look at some of those upcoming events. Here's July. Tomorrow we have another webinar using JMC to manage student contacts. That's a great resource for new front office staff. Contacts are the backbone of your database, and understanding how contacts connect to students is a very important task. So tune in tomorrow at 12:30 to check out using JMC to manage student contacts. A question that we frequently get asked is, what if I've got a family that's a divorced family or family that lives in separate households? We will be emphasizing that in that webinar as well. July 17th, we're tackling enrollment procedures for incoming and outgoing students. So how do we handle students that are coming into our district? How do we handle students that are leaving our district? And most importantly, how do we prepare that data so that when we share it in our state reporting processes, it's all correct, it's all there, it's everything that we need. So these two are two instrumental webinars for new front office professionals, followed by our lunch and learn on the 24th of July. If you are a meal service expert in your school, or if you are brand new and you are just joining your school as part of the food service team, that lunch and learn is a great opportunity to learn all about food service and JMC. And then, like I mentioned, the end of July starts our state reporting series. We start with the Nebraska State Reporting Roundup, followed by Minnesota, then Iowa, and Wisconsin. So all of August is all about what's new in state reporting, and also our state reporting roundups for the various states that we serve. Our contest equals your chance to deepen connections. So enter JMC's Community Messenger contest, where you could score a communication strategy sesh with best-selling author, international speaker, and expert on human connection, Joe Beckman, by day, and a bonfire chat with the community by night. Grab the details on this PDF right here. If you were at our summer conference, you might have had the opportunity to hear Joe Beckman speak. You might have had the chance to meet him, shake hands, and grab a copy of his book. Excellent dude, and with a great message. So if the community messenger is something that you're interested in, look into that opportunity. If you missed any part of our back to school series, tune into this webinar for a full walkthrough of online registration, form setup to e-signatures, and tracking submissions to ensure every student is good to go for the year. So that was part of our online registration series. From bell schedules to instructional minutes, meals, and more, your school has a ton of data to navigate and submit to the state. From smooth reporting, explore our info-packed YouTube playlists organized by state, our Nebraska reporting, Iowa reporting, Wisconsin reporting, and Minnesota reporting. It's all available on our YouTube channel. So if that's what you're looking for, check those out. Also check out our roundups that are coming up. For Linda Hill, I'm Jake Vanskoy, thanking you for choosing JMC, and we will catch you on the flip side.